Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. We're coming up with maybe my favorite tournament, Wimbledon. I love Wimbledon, especially back in the day when they used to serve and volley. And that's going to be our tip of the day that you can use in your matches, right? When you watch the pros play, most of the time they're staying back. But at Wimbledon, I think you're still even going to see more serve and volleys than the other typical Grand Slam tournaments. And so we're going to go through some very important tips for you today on how you can successfully put serve and volley tactics into your game. All right, so the first step, we're going to talk about the serve with the serve and volley. We're going to talk about a couple of components here. First thing, I notice when I'm playing a match, the difference between me doing a serve and stay back versus a serve and volley is I like to test my body a little more on the serve and volley. Okay, if I'm going to serve and stay back, it's going to kind of look like this. I don't have to throw it as far out into the court. I just put that ball up there, hit that serve, and get ready and play the baseline point. When I'm going to serve and volley, I like to throw the ball a little further out into the court, test my body a little bit, although I need to still feel balanced so I can deliver a nice, powerful blow into the court. The next thing I need to do is hit the ground running, okay? So when I serve and volley, I don't want to serve, stop, and then continue on. I see a lot of club players do that. When I serve and volley, I'm going to hit the ground running so I can get a good position on the net. So watch this. This is how I will serve and volley. Notice the ball goes a little further out into the court. And I move on in. Okay, notice how far I got with very little effort there. Next thing we're going to talk about is the split step. And this is probably the most important thing. People always ask, well, when do you split step? When do you split step? It's not a place on the court. It has nothing to do with that. So don't think you have to get to the service box to split step. Most of the time, you are not going to make it that far. It's right before your opponent goes into the ball. So they're here, they're getting ready to move into the ball, and that's when you split step. That's very important. So then when I split step, I am ready to react to the ball. Okay, so let me just show you what a split step would look like here as I'm playing. Here comes a split step right here. Notice I didn't get to the service line. I was kind of timing out to where I felt where an opponent might start to move forward into the return. That's when I'm going to do my split step. Okay, next we're going to come back. The final component that we're going to talk about today, there's many aspects of the serve and volley, but the final thing we're going to talk about today is the placement of the serve. When you are serving and staying back, that's important too, your placement. But when you serve and volley, it's very high risk, high reward. You got to think of yourself like a pitcher in a baseball game. If you kind of throw in a serve and you don't know where it's going, or you hit to the sweet spot of the racket, you can forget about winning the point at the net. So you've got to have really great placement on the serve, and you've also got to follow that in. So we're going to take a look at a couple of examples where I serve one out wide and watch how I move towards the ball, and then the other one we're going to serve down the middle and watch how I move towards the ball there. So as you're serving volleying, you've got to know where that serve's going so you can follow the angle of the ball. If you don't follow the angle of the ball, you're going to be easily exploited up here at the net. All right, so let's watch these two examples. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the placement. All right, and I'm going to go out wide here. I'm also going to use a kick serve. When you serve and volley, it's not about how hard you can hit the serve. Lots of times that can hurt you. You don't always want to go for the big booming serve when you're going to serve and volley, because now you're not going to be able to get as close to the net because that ball is coming back just as fast if they get the ball back. So I'm going to take a little bit of pace off this. I'm going to kick it out there and watch how I'm going to move towards the ball. If I just run straight to the middle, which lots of people think you just run to the middle at the net, again, the whole line is going to be open. And if I hit a good serve, most likely they're going to be late. So if they're going to be late, most likely they're hitting down the line, which I want. I want them to hit down the line, and I can volley to the open court.
Go.
So notice where I ended up. I'm over here. I'm shaded over here. I don't want to move too far. If I move too far, now I'm going to be passed out there. But right here, right there, I've got my opponent cornered. I've got him trapped. Okay, so hopefully what they're going to do here is they're going to hit down the line. So right here, I'm going to split step forward and volley to the the open court. Next, we're going to take a look at a serve down the middle and how I'm going to cover that. Now I'm going to serve down the middle. And this is a great serve for the lefty. It goes to the backhand. And you can't get every spot on the court. There's going to be some times where they're going to pass me and I'm just going to clap my racket. Remember, serve and volley is high risk, high reward. But if I'm going down the middle, I'm thinking of my best stroke versus their weakest shot, and I'm anticipating them again being late. So as I serve and volley, I'm actually going to shade a little bit past the middle. You see the tee there? I'm going to be a little bit off to the side here, so hoping they're a little late. Again, I'm going to volley to the open court. Maybe even a little angle is going to be open for me too, because I'm anticipating a backhand volley. All right, so here we go. See, here's where I am. The serve wasn't very good, to be honest. I want to get more off of that. That would have been kind of like a mistake as a pitcher, but you get the idea. I'm aiming for that orange cone, and notice where I ended up. I'm going to give up a lot of that court to get that backhand volley. I'm going to place it down the line, get them running. So now now they're having to hit two backhands to win the point against me. They're going to have to hit a backhand return and a backhand passing shot, and I like that because most people can't do that. Okay, so that is your Wimbledon tip of the day. I know we gave you a lot today, but it's on the serve and volley. Make sure when you serve, you're challenging your body a little bit by throwing the ball out into the court, right? You want to hit the ground running, and you want to make sure that you are placing that serve. Just don't serve it anywhere and run. You've got to know exactly where that ball is going to go before you hit the serve so you can effectively set up the point. This is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. Now to watch the next video, after this video, you're going to get to see my Wimbledon predictions. And I want you to give me your predictions as well. And oh yeah, for all you smarty pants out there, it's okay to make fun of me if I'm wrong. It's just a prediction. Just try and leave the profanity out of it this time. Take care. This is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching signing off. We'll see you next time.